Hey guys, it is Aoife from Paddy VS Laughing and I'm here with my 2nd October weekly wrap-up. So I managed to read 3 books and 1 novella this week, which I'm pretty happy with. I started off the week, I read Life Before Legend. As people know, I finished the Legend trilogy last week, so I read the little novella, which is really short. It's only like 60 pages I think. So I read that at the beginning of the week and it was good. It was pretty simple, like there wasn't really huge. It was like 2 short chapters on each of the main character in Legend's lives before the sequence of events that happens in Legend. So it was kind of a look at them before and a little bit of, you know, maybe some kind of hints or a story that they hinted at during the 3 books. It's just giving a little glimpse into that story. I definitely preferred Day's story to June's. I thought June's was a little bit boring. The only reason I liked June's is because we got to see a bit more of a look into her brother, who obviously we hear a lot about in the whole series. So yeah. And then with Day, it was kind of more of, we got a look at him before he was kind of really famous as he is in Legend. So that was nice as well. So yeah, I did enjoy it, and I can't remember what I gave it. I think I gave it 4 stars, but it's more like a 3.5, 3.7. So after that I went on, or while I was reading that, I was also reading Fae Fever. I was reading Fae Fever by Karen Marie Moning, which is the 3rd book in the Michaela Lane series, or the Fever series. As people know, it's been really popular on YouTube lately, and a lot of people have been talking about it, and I've been reading it. So this is the 3rd book in that series. Since I began reading these books, I think I kind of got completely, I don't know, I just got completely wrapped up in all the fuss about them, because suddenly everyone was talking about them, and then I started to read them and more people started talking about them and saying how great they were, and I got all wrapped up in that, I think, and then I was just like, oh yeah, they're really good. And now that I've kind of slowed down and I'm not so wrapped up in all of that anymore, I can kind of take a better look and a more critical look at the books, I think. So I've actually lowered my ratings from the first 2. I've changed them from like 4 stars to 3.5 stars. Now that I look back at them, I'm not 100% sure that they deserve the amount of praise they're getting, because they're not amazingly written books. I think the story is just quite enjoyable to read, a little bit like other books, you know, that people love, where the writing isn't top notch. It's just quite an enjoyable story. So this book basically, Fae Fever, it just carried on from the sequence, from the events that happened in the first 2 books. I can't really say much of it, obviously, but there were a few things that did niggle me now that I was going in not completely, again, wrapped up in all the praise. I started this book saying, well, I'm going to have a proper look at it and I'm really going to critique it properly. I'm not going to just say, oh, this is great. I wanted to have a really kind of in-depth look at it. So I did that this time, and actually had a lot of fun writing little notes that I noticed about different things. So I think it was Katie from Katie Loves to Read pointed out in one of her reviews of the first book, Dark Fever, she pointed out that the men in these books are all very controlling. All the male characters are very controlling, and they like to control the main female character, who is Michaela. And I hadn't really noticed that, but then when I went back and I read this book, I really noticed that. It was very obvious, and I think it just kind of, it also kind of went up a gear in this book as well, with several different people at once trying to control her, and it was very obvious. And while Michaela, she kind of let it happen and she kind of didn't let it happen, but I do feel she was like much stronger in this book. I felt there was good character development in this book, and it made it enjoyable to read. It made her story enjoyable to read because she wasn't as meek. She had a little bit more fight in her in this one. One of the things I find wrong with this book, and what I found wrong with the whole series in general so far, is that it is very clearly a book written about Ireland and written about Dublin that an American has written. So if you're from Ireland, you know that the person that has written it isn't Irish. They don't know different things about Ireland that they should know if they want to write a book about Ireland and write a book about Dublin and about Irish people. it just doesn't work that well in this book, especially I think maybe if you weren't Irish you wouldn't care, but if you are Irish like I am, you notice a lot of different things. So different things that, you know, people might know that Irish people say, things like crack and feck. She puts them in wrong sentences.
Irish people say, what's the crack, instead of saying, you know, what's up, you know, and stories and good news, what's happening with you, we go, oh, what's the crack, what's up, or and crack.
And there's one more thing that I just need to say about this book and about Americans in general when it comes to Ireland. And if you are American, I'm sorry if I offend you, but to be quite honest, it's been offending the whole of Ireland for years and years and years. And that is, people call Patrick. People call Patrick are not called Patty. We call them Paddy. A D, not a T. So if you're ever in Ireland, or if you ever know an Irish person and you hear someone say St. Patty's Day around them, they will go crazy. They will go absolutely nuts. We hate it. We absolutely hate when someone says St. Paddy's Day. But overall, when all that is out of the way, this book was good. It left me wanting more. Again, I had my problems with it, but I'm glad I had my problems with it. I went into it with a better eye this time. The ending, I was a bit meh about. I felt like it was one of those things when that TV shows use. They make a girl kind of, you know, have a traumatic experience happen to her for kind of bigger ratings. TV shows are accused of it all the time, and I kind of wonder whether she did this here. I'm not sure if it really needed to happen. I don't know. I'm a bit meh about it, but it made me want to read the next book. It really made me want to pick up the next book straight away, which I haven't yet, but it did do its job in that sense. And then I went on and I read To All the Boys I've Loved Before by Jenny Han, and if anyone knows me, they know that I have not wanted to read this book because I was just like feeling really like, ugh, I just didn't want to read it. I thought it was kind of a young, childish book, and I ended up loving it, and I gave it 4.5 stars. I just thought it was a super cute story. Everyone in it was super cute. It just lost a 0.5 of a star because Lara Jean, the main character, she is quite babyish at times. She's quite young. She calls her parents mommy and daddy all the time, and I find that a little bit... It got endearing after a while when you got to know her, but at the start it was just really, really babyish, and it kind of got on my nerves a little bit. But all the characters in these books are just amazing, especially her younger sister Kitty, who is just so funny and so smart. She is just an amazing character, but I really, really loved it, and I had to go on to read the next book, which is P.S. I Still Love You. I had to read it straight away because I had to know what happened, and it didn't have the same feel as the first one did, but I still enjoyed it, and I liked who she got with in the end, because there was a love triangle that was entered into the second one. There was a small love triangle in the first one, there's a bigger one in the second one, and I'm happy how it ended, and I'd be happy with another book, but again, I'm pretty happy with the two books as it is. I still think the first book, there didn't really need to be a sequel. I don't think it was a huge thing. I think it could have actually just been a standalone book. I just wanted to show you guys what I got in the post today, which is my Harry Potter illustrated. Oh my god, I'm so happy. I've literally been waiting for weeks for this to come, and everyone started getting theirs last week, and I'm so jealous. I was literally just about to pounce on the postman, and I came home from work today and it was here waiting for me. I've already like skimmed through it about 50 times because, oh my god, all the pictures are just so beautiful in this. Like there's Hogwarts there, if you can't see it, absolutely gorgeous. Oh, I'm just so in love with this book. I think I'll just look at this book for the rest of my life and just be happy and die happy. You know what you guys are reading, what you've read this week, what you think of the books that I have read. If you've read them, let me know, and I will see you guys again next week. So bye.